Alright guys, so this is going to be a walk around of my 2016 FZ07. Her name is Ellie, and I got her in June, I believe, about 2 years ago. I wanted the red one, but unfortunately they discontinued the red, so I had to settle for silver and blue. But I love this bike. It's a V-twin, 750 class bike. It's a V-twin naked bike. I absolutely love it. I wish sometimes it had a little bit more power, especially on the highway. But that's something you kind of got to live with a naked bike, unless you get the like FZ10 or some of the Triumphs have a little bit more displacement than this. But for around town and the commuting that I do, this is plenty of power. So we're just going to walk around and go over some mods that I have on here. We're going to start from the front and work our way back. So starting up here, the first thing you guys see is I have this Pugue windscreen here. Obviously, I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan, if you couldn't tell. This windscreen, it doesn't look like it goes up that high, but I'll tell you one thing, that this windscreen makes a total difference. It deflects the wind up and into your helmet or over your helmet instead of onto your chest, especially at highway speeds. It doesn't look like much, but trust me, it deflects wind like you wouldn't believe. Next up are these CRG levers. I love these levers. They're adjustable. These are the actual CRGs. You can go on eBay and find like the cheap, Chinese-made knockoff ones. The finish doesn't hold up as well, and I'll go over why this is all scraped up in a minute. I did go down on this bike, but these are nice where if you don't do what I did and get into an accident and scrape this part, these end pieces here are replaceable, and you can adjust this for length depending on how big or small your fingers are. The finish has held up pretty good. It's starting to get a little bit of a bronze finish now. This bike has been out in Arizona for the past 5 years, or sorry, not 5 years, for the past couple years. So I lived there for 5 years. This bike has only been there for about a year and a half. So the finish is starting to go just a little bit, so that's one little ding for that, but otherwise they've held up great. Next, you'll notice that this isn't the standard handlebar setup. Standard handlebars sit about up here, and they come off here and actually go up, so you get a little bit more upright riding position. This is the Woodcraft clip-on conversion kit. It replaces this whole piece right here, and it replaces where the dash goes as well. And it drops these pretty significantly, about 3 or 4 inches down. I absolutely love these. The best thing is that if you damage one of these handlebars like I did, it's only like $10 or $15 to replace the whole bar. Moving on from there, we have Driven Racing grips, the D3 grips. I know they're very popular with the sport bike crowd. I wanted something a little bit more round, I guess. I had those like cheap $5 grips or whatever. I didn't like them. They were too thin for me. These are really nice. I really love the grip that I get on them, and they're a little bit bigger in diameter, at least to my hand they are. I also have the Driven Racing bar end mirrors. These are not cheap. For how much money you pay for these, though, I have to say they are a phenomenal investment, and the only real damage I ever got was this little scrape when I went down. Otherwise, they've held up perfectly. I haven't even shattered the glass in it. So guys, Driven Racing makes a great product, and I absolutely love that. I do have a RAM mount for my phone. This is the handlebar one, because I do not have the hole in the triple tree like R6s do to place it there, so I can't do that. But I do have a RAM mount, and it holds my phone, in case any of you wonder or want to know. It's an iPhone 6s Plus. It's a little bit older and kind of bulky, but whatever. Going back, I have a Yoshimura tail tidy kit, so it gets rid of that stupid fender that comes out to like here and looks really bad. I'm planning on getting LED turn signals. This has an LED here to shine on your license plate, which is nice. And then the next, what you can't see is under my seat, I do have a FT ECU tune That's a company called FlashTune ECU. So it's an ECU flash, but it also lets you do remapping of the bike. You can import Power Commander maps, Bazzaz maps, any of those type of aftermarket, fueling kits. I like that kit a lot better, the FT ECU tuner, because you can do it at home. You don't need to rewire the entire bike with a separate harness for a Power Commander. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a Power Commander installed, but it's a pain in the ass. So this is a lot easier. You just have to punch in a couple pins into your wiring harness on your ECU, and you're good to go. It's super simple to do, and their customer service is great. And then it has a K&N high-flow air filter in it. And then the last major mod is I have a Krapovic Race Carbon exhaust. It's a full system. The thing with these FZ07s is if you're going to do an exhaust, you basically have to do a full system. Otherwise, you would have a stock header pipe here, and you'd have to hacksaw it right there. And I don't know about you, but I don't like taking a hacksaw to my bike, so I just got the full system. It got a little damaged. It's cosmetic. There's not really any major damage done internally. And unfortunately, they don't just sell the back can here. You have to buy the whole exhaust again. So, Krapovic, if you look at this, please change that. I really would like to just order the back muffler. I'm going to fire this thing up. Another thing, I have an LED headlight in here now. That doesn't really matter, but I'm going to fire this thing up. The microphone doesn't do this thing justice. This thing is really loud. I have the dB killer out. So it idles pretty nice. I will say with the FT Tune, with the Power Commander map, it idles a little bit lower at once it's warmed up, so it runs a little bit cooler as well. So that's something else you can do. You can adjust the fan speed and you can adjust the fan when it kicks on. Keep your bike a little cooler. So we're gonna give this a short little rev. We're right behind the school and a bunch of houses, so I don't want to rev this thing too high. Ow. Yeah, this thing is effing loud. So just if you guys plan on getting this exhaust, just know that you are going to be the most hated person in your neighborhood when you get this exhaust. So we're gonna hop back on and get going here before we get in trouble. Once again, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you enable notifications. At least give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That would really help me. And look forward to another video coming out real soon. So guys, once again, my name is Cactus Moto. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.